Back, everybody. Hey, on January the 18th, a Martin Luther King Brotherhood Breakfast and Basketball Classic will take place. And joining us for a preview, we have Tim Rouhlac, Albert Nixon III, and Craig Sidberry. And you guys, I've seen you guys out at some of the summer stages up in Harlem on 125th Street. I know you guys can get busy, and we're going to move all the chairs and move all this. No, I'm only kidding. Tell us about what you guys are up to right about now.
So basically, in regards to the MLK Day breakfast, we've been doing this since the 90s. It's our opportunity to kind of engage both older men and younger men. The organization is geared towards enriching the lives of young men ages 14 to 18. So we have a brunch, and then after that we have a discussion about the violence with the young people, and then we have a basketball scrimmage, basically.
So you started this organization in the 90s?
No. We
part of it, but it started.
What my brother was talking about was the actual event, the MLK event. However, our organization been here since the year of our Lord, 1946, and we're a rites of passage program where we service the young men.
What can you say about what's going on in our community today? How do we get a grip on that? How do we?
It's really hard to say.
Head that off,
I'd say it's hard to really it's really hard to pan how you want things to be. You want things to be better, but in different aspects of the community might have so many different struggles. But it's definitely our point. That's where we come in to help the community, especially the young men, to try to aid them in the right direction. So we do the most positive things in the community.
What do you think? Absolutely. What's causing all this havoc? I mean, it's people raping women in park, allegedly raping women in park.
I think it's that's the beauty of the organization. That's why I think it's so relevant today, is because there lacks a community reinforcement, I think, across the board. There's no sense of checks and balances anymore. I know when I was younger, I was primarily raised by my grandmother, and that network of people,
but your grandmother had people in line on your way home.
And if anyone saw me acting
butt along the way,
it would get to my grandmother. It was a sense of like checks and balances, and I feel like that's missing. There's no sense of shame, there's no sense of honor, because no one checks people. They're scared to. People are scared of, let's say, gang violence, gun violence, things of that nature. So, you see someone acting out the bunch, and it's easier to follow that path. That's where we excel, because we're one of the few organizations that still encourage like young men's discipline, leadership, and community service. So I feel like that works for the young men.
And you need those organizations, not only one, because one organization can't do it by itself. You need to partner with other organizations moving together in the same direction for a common cause.
Absolutely.
Now this breakfast, tell us, how's that going to look? You got the breakfast followed by what again?
We had the breakfast followed by group discussions, workshops. Those workshops vary depending on what's going on in the community. Majority of the time, it's always based on the current events and what's going on. Unfortunately, a lot of those revolve around violence. But we do have fun. We do eat good, and everything. And we make sure that everybody feels welcome there. And it's just really something real fun to do. And we play ball.
He said we eat good. I'm in.
Honestly, like Brother Rouhlac said, it's definitely a really good time. After we eat, we do have a big session of camaraderie with us and the young men who might be interested in the organization, or just come to basically learn a little bit more about Dr. King's legacy, or what the organization is about. And it's really about us communicating with them. They see us, we see them, and even if they don't wish to be a part of the organization, it's really about helping the community. That's what we're about. That's our mission.
Yeah, and creating that awareness that there are a whole lot of people before us who helped pave the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Who lost their lives and who got hit over the head and who did some things to help you get where you are today.
Life is hard.
Absolutely. Well, it's important that we do it in the, it's appealing to the young men. It's not just appealing to the young men, but also to young women in our communities. So we need to let them know that us as men, we're here to do our role, to play our part and everything. Because if it's not appealing, nobody's not gonna go. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we're about. We're about saying, listen, this is what we're doing, and it's cool to do this. It's cool to do the right thing, you know? It's cool to pledge to us, you know? It's cool to look good in maroon, you know? So, and it's cool to give back and do what you're supposed to do. I mean, we do a pretty good job.
Join this group, join this gang, join this team.
This fraternity,
This
the
fraternity.
Order of the Feather Fraternity.
Order of the Feather. Yes, I've seen you guys marching in the parade after.
Oh,
the
yeah.
parade.
Perfect. Yeah. We're primarily based in Harlem, but this is actually our recruitment season. So when the young men actually start their process, it'll most likely be late February. But we have these series of events to gain appeal, especially now. We're on the dawn of our 70th anniversary, so this year is going to be a really big deal. That's why it's a beautiful thing that we were able to promote the MLK breakfast here. This is kind of the kickoff for our year. This is the first event, and we honor his legacy, but we also speak about what's relevant with the young people, and that includes, you know, violence, unfortunately, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, I've dealt with a lot of organizations. When the Order of the Feather came through, and I was on a mic, I think, after the parade, back in the day, I said, Order of the Feather, I got to find out more about this, because, you know, I did all the fraternities and sororities and all that.
Right.
But I'm loving what you guys are doing, because, you know, not a lot of people are stepping up to the plate and helping our young people move in the right direction.
Absolutely.
As much as we're stationed and kind of we formed in Harlem. We're not just in the Manhattan area. We're also we also have a chapter in Queens, Brooklyn, and more recently in the Bronx. So we really just want to make sure that we promote and people see that we're not just here in Lower Manhattan or in Queens or in Brooklyn. We're actually in the Bronx. So, you know, if people are interested in joining or learning more about the organization, we invite them to look into our Instagrams and our tags and things like that. We're at different events. We make sure that we're stationed in as many places as possible.
Tell them why they should join your organization.
So it's so many reasons. I don't want to get carried away.
So many.
But
Talk about it.
the beauty of the Feather is that it's a mentoring program, but it's under the fraternal motto. I know personally, you know, I've had father figures, but we have a lot of our membership, you know, they didn't know their father, or their fathers weren't in their lives. They didn't have a big brother, they didn't have a little brother. And the beauty about the program, us three young men here, we're an example of the Alumni Association. So I joined when I was 16, now I'm 25, and I'm still giving back to that 16, 14, 18-year-old age bracket.
Old cat.
Yeah, I'm old. Past stepmaster, all that. So I feel like it's a beautiful organization because we encourage you to move forward. I feel, you know, I admire the work that Greek organizations do in college, but my theory is always that if you've at least made it to college, you already have your foot in some type of door. There's some people who don't even envision college. So we're for those young men that feel like, you know, I might be in this gang life for too long. I might be in the street life for too long. So we try to get them and grow them so they can go on to other organizations. We have people that are now Greek, now other organizations, now in the criminal justice system, now in the corrections facility. We have brothers everywhere in every career goal. So it's strange for a young man to have access to that at 15. And beyond that, what I realized is that young men, I don't know if they noticed it because I didn't notice it until I was a 20-year-old, but when I was 15 before I joined, there's a stigma about black men. Like you go into a store, you're watched. You go into different atmospheres and you don't really get support from the community like you should. But for some reason, especially in the Harlem area, but Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, when we wear these logos, especially older people that know of us from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, how you doing, young brother? Good job, young brother. Keep up the good work, young brother. It feels good as a young man. So I feel like that's the main selling point. If you're a young man looking for something to do, something positive to be in, just wanting to like have your peers look at you a certain way and have older people look at you a certain way, I think this is the organization for you.
I know the feeling, being in a store and someone's just going to help you.
Just looking at you.
Let me do my thing.
Browse,
when I come to the counter, I'll have what I want. You know, don't follow me around.
Well, can I
and then the
add,
guy keeps going back and forth.
what I like to add is that, you know, what my brother was saying is that we're given that outlet, and I bring it right back to appeal. You know, we're exactly what a gang does. We're just offering different services.
Yeah.
You know, what a gang is gonna offer protection, we offer that protection. But we got education on our side.
Sure.
You know,
And you ain't going to jail.
and we're not going to jail.
Not
You
going to
know, we also have role models. We have, like my brother said, you know, there's brothers in all sorts of fields. You know, it's not common for anybody to say in the community, listen, I'm associated with the police, but we are. You know, we have brothers who are police officers, so we're looking at it. We're
You
looking
got
at
brothers
our issues
in every walk
differently.
of life working with you guys.
Every walk of life. I'm a film director, and one of our older brothers, you know, who's also a former Panther and things of this nature, he's also a film director as well. You know, so we got all walks of life
Well,
here.
you know, you got people looking for a way out of gangs, a
Well,
way
come
out
to
of
us. How many times I
their
gotta say
life
it,
that
man?
they
Come
currently
to us.
live
There
now.
are definitely a lot of different situations where young men who feel, or even parents who feel that their young men need more structure in their lives, they definitely come to us. We might meet them at churches. We do different events with menacing societies and our Kwanzaa events and things just it trickles down forever. You see parents that have been around in different organizations that associate with the Feather for years. And when they have children, they bring their children to the Feather, and they know this person and that person who we might know, who are our big brothers, who might have been around in the 70s or the 60s, and it turns into one big giant family. There's no way I can't call or speak to a brother from a while back. So it's all one love. It's all one
Good
big
job,
family.
guys. Good job. I like the feather. I like the order.
Always.
Order
So
of
we
the
wanna-
feather, ladies and gentlemen.
So we
Give
want to
them a
make
big
sure we
round of
tell
applause.
everybody to come out.
Come out.
How about
Next
where?
Monday.
Tell them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, bro.
Monday, January 18th, we're celebrating the life
10
of Martin Luther King, 10 a.m. at the Kennedy Center. It's on 135th between Lenox and 5th Avenue.
That's right. It's the Martin Luther King Brotherhood Breakfast and Basketball Classic. Give them another big round of applause. Let them hear you. Let them feel you. Tim Rouhlac, Albert Nixon, Craig Sidberry, the Feather People. Yes, indeed. Say it again. All together now. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. We got to take a quick break right here, but when we return, we'll learn what the New York Public Library is up to. Robin and the crew. I'm going to get her.